Today's review for the day is the 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferris. Yeah, I thought I'd just give you a wee rundown on what I thought of this book. I've read it tons of times. Like, this is probably the book I've read the most, especially the audio version I've listened to the most. Does that make any sense? So Tim Ferris, this guy there, he's a New York Times best-selling author. He's written tons of other books. He's written The 4-Hour Chef, The 4-Hour Workweek, of course, the one we're going to be talking about, 4-Hour Body. He's recently released Tales of Titans. He's done tons of books. He's kind of a Silicon Valley entrepreneurial guy. Yeah, really fascinating guy. So let's get into it. I'm also going to be reviewing this book more as a musician and a creative type, so that's important to bear in mind. In general, I think it's a very good book. It depends really what you're wanting in life. If you're looking for a few tips to help make you even more productive and less distracted, then this book's great. Certain sections of this book are great. If you're hoping to develop a product, outsource it, and then live off the kind of profits of that for the rest of your life and work for just 4 hours a week, then that's fine. Like, I realize as a musician, 4 hours is probably the amount of practice that you want to get done in one day, so it's not really realistic. So some of this book isn't practical for musicians. Bar that, I think the book is still quite good for musicians. It's split up into 4 sections, D, E, A, L, which stands for deliberation, elimination, automation, and liberation. I think that's right. I'll do it in the edit. It'll look super cool in the edit, right? Yeah, that's right. And it's the E section, elimination, that is the best one to focus on as a musician. Any musician wants to become more productive with their time should just focus on this section. Okay, so one of his main big ideas is focus on being productive instead of busy. Now, I know it's very easy as a freelancer to be running around doing lots of things, being busy. People ask you, well, how you doing? And you go, oh, I'm so busy, which is such a cop-out, such a well, that's not how you're doing. That's a ridiculous answer to my question. What does that even mean, So yeah, you should focus on being productive instead of busy. Being busy doesn't count for anything. You don't necessarily make money or make progress by being busy. You make progress by being productive. There's a lot of P's in there. This is a big quote, and I'll put it in there as well. What you do is infinitely more important than how you do it. Efficiency is still important, but it is useless unless applied to the right things. And then he goes into great detail about how to get the right things. One of the main things that he goes on about in this is that we should focus more on what we're doing instead of how we're doing it. It's a very, kind of self-helpy, kind of productive thing to think about, oh, how I'm doing things. I need to kind of make the time that I've got, most productive as possible. But he's actually saying, he says you need to cut out the stuff that's not important. Just literally remove that. Instead of trying to find a way to make that stuff more productive, just take it out, just eliminate it, get rid of it. And then you'll have much more of the time to focus on the good stuff, the actual stuff that makes you better or that you get work from. There was a recent TED Talk actually that was also going on about the same sort of thing. I'll put it down in the doobly-doo. So he goes on about getting rid of distractions, or as he calls them, time wasters. Time wasters, those things that can be ignored with little or no consequence. Common time wasters include meetings, discussions, phone calls, web surfing, and email that is unimportant. Yeah, he says just get rid of that stuff. Don't check your email 10 times a day. Don't get email alerts to you unless it's something that is urgent, of course, but don't get your Facebook messages straight to your phone. You don't need to know when somebody tweets you. That stuff is not urgent, that stuff is not important. That's just wasting time from other stuff you could be working on. Essentially, if you get rid of those things, then you have more time in your day to do the things that are important. Yeah, I don't want to say much more about the book. I could go on for a while, but I think you probably should pick up a copy if you want, or listen to the free version on YouTube that seems to get re-uploaded every few months, which I will not link to because I'm not affiliated, etc. But another few good things to check out in the book would be the 80-20 rule that he goes on about with Pareto in his garden, batching. I'm maybe going to upload a separate video about that as well at some point. And then also the Mexican fishing story is a great one as well. I'll put that in the description actually, that's quite a good one. But yeah, thanks for listening guys. If you've got any questions about this or what I'm doing, then please let me know. I do read them all, obviously. Hope you enjoyed, and okay, bye! So today's review for the day is the Today's review for the day is the 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferris. I do read them all, obviously.